Have you ever stood in front of a world famous landmark and felt something strange? Something that didn't match the smiling selfies, the travel vlogs, or the postcards? What if I told you that behind the world's most beautiful places lie some of the darkest, most disturbing secrets in human history? Let's uncover the dark truth about famous places. Every year, millions of tourists gaze at the glittering Eiffel Tower, a symbol of love, romance, and Parisian beauty. But few know that it's also one of the most common suicide spots in the world. In the early Itzen Joelbites, when it was first built, the Eiffel Tower was criticized, called a monstrosity by French artists. But as time passed, it became a global icon. And yet, hidden under its iron beams are countless untold tragedies. Lovers who jumped from the top, leaving behind only notes and broken dreams. And even stranger, during World War II, when Hitler visited Paris, the French cut the elevator cables, forcing him to climb the stairs. If he wanted to reach the top, he never did. And when Paris was freed, the tower once again became a symbol, this time not of love, but of resistance. The Colosseum in Rome is a masterpiece of ancient engineering, an arena that once echoed with the roar of Wurzers, Ling spectators. But behind that grandeur lies unspeakable cruelty. Gladiators, slaves, and prisoners fought to the death for entertainment. The arena floor was often flooded with blood, and sometimes even filled with water to stage mock naval battles. Over Su Ling people and 1 million animals died there. What most tourists don't know is that the Colosseum is believed to be haunted by the screams of the dead. Late at night, guards have reported hearing ghostly cries, clanging metal, and footsteps echoing through the empty corridors. That ancient beauty was built on human suffering. Standing proudly by the River Thames, the Tower of London looks like a fairy tale fortress. But its history is drenched in betrayal and blood. For nearly 1,000 years, it served as a prison and place of execution. Anne Boleyn, the second wife of King Henry VIII, was beheaded right inside those walls. Visitors often claim to see her ghost walking the corridors, headless, holding her own severed head. Some even say the ravens that live there are cursed, and if they ever leave, the kingdom will fall. That's why the British still keep them fed and watched over to this day. To the world, the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco is a symbol of human achievement, a glowing orange icon in the fog. But beneath its beauty lies a heartbreaking truth. It's one of the most common suicide locations in the world. Since it opened in Ichen Jubite Sensors T, more than Ibapite people have ended their lives there. For decades, authorities avoided discussing it. But in recent years, they began building a suicide net, not to stop the jumpers, but to give them one more chance to live. It's a place that reminds us, even where the world sees beauty, pain can hide in plain sight. They call it the only human structure visible from space. Aishersan, Ling-mile-long wonder built to protect ancient China. But here's the dark truth. It's often called the world's longest cemetery. Historians estimate that over Surbite Ling workers died during its construction from exhaustion, disease, and harsh conditions. And many of them were buried within the wall itself. So when tourists walk across those ancient stones, they're not just walking on history. They're walking on the graves of the forgotten. Crystal blue waters, white sand beaches. To the world, the Maldives is paradise on earth, But the truth is terrifying. It might not exist in the future. Due to rising sea levels, scientists predict the Maldives could be completely underwater within the next worse years. Locals already see saltwater flooding their wells and eroding their homes. The government even held a meeting underwater in Arsenling-Jules to raise awareness, a desperate call for help. Yeah. So when you look at pictures of that paradise, remember, it's disappearing faster than we realize. People call it the greatest monument to love, but the Taj Mahal is actually a tomb. It was built by Emperor Shah Jahan in memory of his wife, Mumtaz Mahal, who died giving birth. But the love story hides tragedy. After its completion, Shah Jahan was imprisoned by his own son, who feared his father's growing power. For 8 long years, the emperor stared out from his prison window, looking at the Taj Mahal, the resting place of the woman he loved. He never saw it again. When he died, his body was buried beside hers, the final reunion in death. Disneyland promises smiles, laughter, and magic. But few know it's also the site of real-life tragedy. Over the years, several fatal accidents have occurred, from mechanical failures to mysterious drownings. But what's even creepier? Some fans claim the park is haunted, with reports of shadowy figures, flickering lights, and a ghost boy spotted near Dot. It's a small world. Even Walt Disney himself is rumored to still watch over the park. His apartment above the fire station always has a lamp glowing, a light that, according to workers, never goes out. Every famous place we admire hides a shadow. Behind the beauty, there's pain. Behind the history, there's blood. And behind the smile, in every photo, there's a story that the world forgot to tell. The next time you travel to one of these landmarks, stop for a second. Feel the silence beneath the noise. You might just hear the whispers of the past, the truth they never wanted you to know.